Yes, it's kind of a controversial question, when to let your kid have a smartphone, because it's part of the technology of our society and everyone has one, which makes them feel very left out if they don't have one. So we need to weigh a few things. We need to weigh the personality of the child and the age of the child, as well as what is the phone going to be used for and what are its purposes. So some pieces of advice are, when we look at child development and brain development, the most vulnerable ages are ages 10 to 14, when they're just starting to be formed in so many different ways that some social scientists are recommending that if you can hold out from giving your child a smartphone before 9th grade, that doesn't mean they can't have a phone. They can have a phone that can call and that can text so that you know where they are and so that they can communicate. That would be great. However, if you can keep them from having all of the distractions of all of the apps, of the video games on the phone, and of all of the distractions, it gives their brain a little bit more time to form before they enter 9th grade, when each year they become a little bit better at handling things that life gives, whether it's stress or handling the temptation of the devices and being responsible, being organized, and things like that. So the later you can wait, we suggest the better. And then another piece of advice is people ask about social media apps. So your child has a smartphone, but does that mean they can access anything they want whenever they want? And again, the longer that you can wait for those things, it gives the brain a chance to understand a little bit more of who they are, to build their identity, and to not be as influenced by all of the things that they get bombarded by on social media platforms. So if it's possible to hold out until age 16, the more healthy they're going to be online, the less they're going to be influenced by negative influences. Now, we're all able to be influenced by negative things coming to us online. So the later you can hold out, the better, because it just gives their brains more chances to form and more chances for them to understand the dangers and to have a healthy relationship with their devices. So those are some ways that parents can try and understand when would be appropriate times. But also, just because they have the device doesn't mean that they can do whatever they want on it. You really need to build in rules, expectations. What happens if you break a rule? Can the phone be taken away? Who should pay for the phone? Who has access to the passwords on the phone? Those are all really great things to be talking about, and to have those dialogues with your teenagers, figuring out those rules together, and then setting up consequences when something is abused or misused. But, our goal is to protect them, and our goal is to not let them be taken advantage of, and not let these harms come to them, and make sure that they're aware of what they're getting into.